I want to support my boy. I want to support Canada. Canada and Vancouver is really important to me. So, yeah. Let's view this replay. Alright. And I actually like viewing it on CFN, but I also like YouTube because you can frame by frame. I know Sagem does YouTube, but usually because he catches the tournament matches. Oh, he's got the gold Nash. Okay. Got my hotkeys ready. Oh, the cannon spike armor. Okay. Pause, go forward. Awesome. Ready to go. So generally, I think before we start watching this, I think Cammy wins this matchup, but that's a relevant point. But basically, I think the way Nash needs to win is he needs to backdash, forward dash, and move around the screen a lot, basically to mess up the dive kick spacing, so he could get a punish by blocking it unsafely and then punishing the landing, or by making it whiff completely and punishing with like a scythe or a sweep or some sort of normal to check her at the very, very least. Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be the way he's going to win. The way Cammy's going to win is going to get in and pressure, but that's obviously dangerous because Nash's screen control is quite good, despite, you know, the slight problems that Nash has on defense, which is fine. But we're going to see that, how it goes. Alright. Okay, so I like what he's doing. He's already whiffing a jab. He's already trying to bait, see what the Cammy does. He does a sonic boom. Pretty safe at that distance, right? And he does heavy punch boom here. And heavy punch boom recovers pretty quickly. Hey Russ, how's it going, man? Good to see you. I noticed you've been streaming a lot. You're like getting really prepped for Evo. It makes me really happy. Okay, medium kick. So... okay, let's check. He doesn't buffer the confirm, which is fine. But, I think because it's definitely minus on block, so I don't know why you would challenge right away. Especially against a character like Cammy with really, really fast frame data. So you have to be careful. Nice dash under though. Especially because he's aware that the corner might have came. So if he jumped... because he jumps here, right? And if he landed the jump in... that was a missed dive kick, by the way. You can see Cammy in the air right now, right? So if he actually got the dive kick and comboed, then he could have been in the corner and Toga would be kind of screwed. Or he would lose a lot of life to get out. You know what I mean? Hey, Mortzy. Oh, really? That's good to hear. I'm glad he's been working on it. Thanks, man. I've been a lot more motivated too. That's great, man. Honestly, I think when everyone tries to get better and everyone offers help to get better, you know, I think everyone just pushes themselves and pushes each other and it just kind of creates this giant sphere of growth, which is really nice. Yeah, and if anyone's watching this, follow Russ Ventura on Twitch as well. He does streams for Urian, and he's a local Vancouver player too, so support any way he can. Ah, I see, okay, gotcha. Yeah, but that was a good side switch. Toga is pretty good at that, I'd say. That's one of his strengths. Nice. Okay, now, dashing forward, so online, I feel like this is an online strat. When you do a boom here, and then you hit this, and you forward dash and throw, right? I feel like that's online. I feel like. But against slower characters, like with normals that are pretty slow, I say you can. That's a pretty safe bet. Because most people, when they get hit, when they don't expect it, like this, for example, as a counter poke, and it doesn't crush, they usually just sit and block. So I'd say it's valid to a certain extent, but I think against certain characters and players, you should be careful with this kind of tactic. And the thing too, the problem too, is that he did a back throw, not forward throw. Because now, back to mid-screen, when he could have cornered Cammy, which is really good for Nash. Because Nash can deal with Cammy's escape options outside the corner. Especially when he has bar, which he does currently. So back kick, he jabbed, that was a counter hit. I don't know what he pressed afterward. Could be medium kick to reach. Oh, he walked up, block. What's this here? Yeah, crouch medium kick. Challenge, crouch jab. Alright. Good confirm. Overhead. A stun. Yeah, all in all, and then kill him, spin bar if you have to. Nice. Yeah, Toga did really well in this first round. Darling and Franks. Okay. Is that a movie? Show? Game? I've been playing Octopath Traveler the last like day and a half. It's so beautiful, honestly. Makes me feel in my feels, in my feelers, you know what I mean? Okay, and now, so at the beginning of this round, he's checking. See, a good thing that characters with good dashes and mobility against Cammy is if you kind of stay outside of her dive kick range for most of the match, next match you can play a bit closer because they'll expect you to stay especially if you win that first round with that style, because most players will think, oh, he's gonna stick with this strategy because it worked, so why would he change, right? So mixing it up by going close and like pressure and then immediately switching to hit and run again is a really strong way to make Cammy unsure of where you want to be on the screen, which is really smart. So I think this is a really good choice by him. Okay, good tech. Dive kick whip. Punish, thank you. Nice. Very strong. That was definitely max damage too. I think this Cammy struggling to hit confirm. I'm not sure why. That was like 3 hits to confirm. Not too sure. Yeah, he just didn't go for it, I think. Crouch medium kick does have a little bit of weird hit stun. It's not as much as you think. So as soon as you hit it, you have to confirm nearly immediately. It's not like Mika's stand medium punch or even like Vega's stand medium punch and clawless. Yeah, it's definitely one of the lower hit stun normals, that's for sure. Okay, dive kick, that's gonna trade. Try it though. Yeah, and I think in this matchup, like, cause the life deficit is not big enough, I don't think pressuring after this is warranted, right? Because technically he could just throw a boom to just add some chip damage, right? And stay further away. But like he mistimes his meaty, and that's dangerous against Cammy because he lands like this confirm, right? And he tries Soba kick, I guess looking for space. But the thing is, when Cammy has bar and is down on life, and you're in dive kick range, I think your focus should mostly be in the air and walking back or dashing back. Because it's almost a telegraph dive kick, right? Almost. He didn't miss time? What do you think he went for then? Because he got hit with wake up jab. Ah, only works on back roll. Okay, okay. I guess he was trying to go for the throw or extra pressure. Maybe he was guessing. But either way, I think just play it safe on the knockdown against Cammy. Don't, especially when you're trying to get a life lead, you don't need to press too hard. Forward throw. How did this lead? Oh yeah, the dive kick, dash up, meaty. I don't know why he didn't confirm it, because that could have led to the corner, but now throw kind of gives him a chance to get away. Hey, Silver Rupee. Yeah, I'm analyzing Toga's Cammy match. Okay. This is a Toga weakness I think he needs to clean up. I think you need to be freaking careful, especially offline, especially against certain players, especially against fast characters or characters with DPs, when you do this. Like the wake up B trigger that stays in the front, that keeps you cornered. Especially because if you do the one where he goes behind, at the very, very least, they have to autocorrect DP to hit you, right? If they're just reacting and DPing, it's much easier if you stay in front, because you're cornering yourself too, right? So I think it's better to escape the corner at the very least. I wouldn't say it's a good habit to keep doing that. Maybe if it's like a hard read or certain call out, right? Like that you think maybe they're going to shimmy you, and then I think this is valid. But at the same time, you're still stuck in the corner, right? But nice, that was a good jump out though, so it's fine. Okay, and he misses the confirm, gets the jump over, V-reversal. So now he's trying to maintain the corner, right? But he's having trouble because Toga's fighting his way out, which I think is a good choice. And here, whip punish, nice. Yeah, you have to really be careful, because if you're throwing out mediums or heavies, you really have to make it so either Cammy blocks it or gets hit by it. You cannot whiff in her face too much, because even like average Cammys will pick up on, you know, certain whiffs and be able to whiff punish with certain stuff, even if they accidentally buffer, because Cammys will buffer at this range and closer, and then a little bit closer range too. So you have to worry about that. So that's why you have to make them. You can bait buffering by throwing out jabs, and then usually if you throw a jab and they try to throw a normal to whiff punish, you'll have time to whiff punish with your own normal if you're waiting for it, right? If you're looking, obviously, if you're raw reacting, like without preemptively thinking about the whiff punishment, then of course you're not going to whiff punish Cammy's crouched medium kick. But if you're looking for that specific normal, which is how you can whiff punish most of the time in this game, is you trying to bait them to throwing out the normal you want, or at least a normal that, like for example, if they're throwing out crouch medium kick or crouch medium punch, usually the same whiff punish normal you're using will beat both, right? Because that's what you kind of do. If you're unsure about what your opponent is going to throw out as a normal to check you or buffer, you have to figure out what is your best universal button to whiff punish this normal with, or these normals with, right? And then what you can buffer into, like for example, stand medium punch with Nash and Scythe, or if you know they're going to go specifically crouch fierce, and your stand fierce is a better, whiff punish than stand medium punch, then you can go for that too, right? It's just it just depends whether you have a good read on what your opponent likes to do. Obviously, earlier in the matchup, you're not going to do that, but it's just something to be aware of. Okay. Alright, and see, and you walk back too, right? This is very common. Like Punk started doing this, and other players did it too, like in Japan. Basically, what you do is you just walk back slightly, and you just stick out. You let them whiff their button, right? Because they'll try to check you by chasing you back, and it looks like it might hit. So then throw it out, and it whiffs, and you get a whiff punish. Corner. Okay, good block and good V reversal. That was a good choice. Taking one throw, yeah. Didn't want to commit to the second one, and I would backdash there, just throw a boom or something, The Scythe is okay, but it's just the spacing. Cammy's cannon drill is super fast, especially that was light version, so light kick is incredibly quick. And I think that was max spacing too, maybe. So maybe don't even try. This is pretty much at the tip. I wouldn't try this anymore, especially when Cammy has EX bar, right? Okay, back throw. So now you gotta be careful, right? Yeah, boom. So I wouldn't back up too much, unless you could forward dash to make them scared. I think that's a good idea in this situation. So basically, like if you're looking for them to dash at you or come close, if you do a forward dash and immediately back dash, you can kind of scare them to like just walking up to your face. And he does that here, right? So then now the Cammy's like sitting there and waiting, right? Doesn't punish the Scythe either. Maybe that was a perfect spaced one. Nice air to air. He could have air thrown actually. I think that would have led to a better situation. Does more damage, right? If Nash has a juggling normal, like jump medium punch, I think that's probably better. I can't remember if he does, but like if he'll land a juggle from it, I'm not too sure. But he keeps the frame trap, it's clean. And yeah, he's taking his time, which is good. That dash was risky as hell. Better Cammies would V-trigger freeze and then drill through this situation right here. So I'm surprised he didn't. But that was a good tech. I think he's fishing for the super, right? But then this Cammy knows that that's what he's doing. So you have to mix it up. Like that was how many? Like, he did boom, boom, air to air, medium kick, Soulbot. Yeah, like here, I think you're just too desperate, and he knows you're desperate, and you're trying to get the hit, right? So that's why he gets this. Yeah, you're just too desperate. Even if you're down life, you have 43 seconds. You know how long that is to wait for your moment to strike? Like, you can whiff jabs, you can throw booms that are really safe at max distance, you can dash in quite a bit, you can, like, bait them to move, right? Because the thing is, you should have been looking for this into activation, because that's what she does. Because every time, a Cammy that's average to above average level has V-trigger, they're gonna pop it. And this is not just Cammy, this is other characters too. Like, any character with a bursting V-trigger, sort of, does this all the time. They look for the key normal to activate. Like with Vega, if I have V-trigger too, I get a free sweep every time. You know? Yeah, exactly. That's why Morsy's coughing right now. I look for sweep with Vega and V-trigger 2. So when I have V-trigger 2 ready, I'm gonna more often sweep, right? So if you know that as a player, you can bait the distance where sweep will whiff or you can get a neutral jump to punish it preemptively, and I won't get V-trigger activated. So against players that know that, then I have to adjust that part of my game plan. But basic people won't do that, right? Because at this point, after you whiff that scythe, if you backdashed, you would have made this whiff, and you probably could have scythed again to whiff punish into super, but you didn't. So it's fine. It's fine. This happens to everybody. It happens to me all the time. It's just something to be aware of, because if you're never looking for that, then that's a problem, right? Okay, so keeping it to the zone. I don't. That's some kind of luck, because like I don't think you even reacted to that. I think you just did it to call out something. Yeah, you did it before. Yeah, backdashed. That looks really sick though, and that's a hard read, and that worked. So that's really sick. Because look at that here. You already did it, and then he reacts by trying to get in, I'm guessing. Because he's frustrated with the fireball pressure, right? But he barely, like, if you look at his life, right? He didn't lose any life, basically. So there's no real threat. And the thing is, like, if she's trying to get in close, when Nash has full super, and they're both on match or game point, like, you could just be waiting for her to try to get in, and then just super that. Or your scythe super, right? But this is a sick read. I don't know why that worked. I don't know, maybe you played him before and you remembered something about him, but damn. Because you don't do that to someone you never played, right? Like, you'd have to know some crazy stuff about them to call out that hard. And again, I think with your throwing, are you trying to keep her mid-screen? Is that what you're trying to do? Or you're trying to corner her? Like, that's the choice you need to... I feel like you're unsure. Unless you tell me later that you're just trying to keep Cammy mid-screen. But yeah, this dash is not good. When you have a boom out there, she's always going to try to jump over it or dive kick over it because that's the safest option, right? So I think following it is not a good idea. Right? You're just going to get clipped. Luckily that didn't punish, but good buffer though. Yeah, and again, especially with Nash, you have to watch your crouch medium kick distance. So this whiffed already, right? And so when something whiffs, just stop. Just stop or whiff a jab. Something that won't like reach just as far or further. Because that's why she's walking back right now, right? Because she just set up a whiff punish perfectly. Right? Dude, that's risky, and Toga does it too, but the immune kick site even when characters have full bar. Exactly, that's true. That's a dangerous habit. It could be, but it's something you need to recognize, right? You can't just... Because the thing is, it's not a one-player game. It's a two-player game. And you have to... What's the word? I wouldn't say you have to give your opponent credit, but you have to be aware that they can change and notice things like you notice things about them, right? So there's moments where you have to check yourself. And I will admit, that's really hard to do in match, but it's something you can train yourself to be a little bit better at. And the more you do it, the better you'll be at noticing that, oh, I'm going autopilot. You know what I mean? So something to be careful of. Yeah, and like being this close to Cammy is a bad idea. So I would backdash or be a touch closer too. Like if she dive kicks. Nash's walk speed is slower though, right? So that's a problem in this matchup. But the dashing is really good for messing up her spacing. So like a stagger, jab, walk, and then backdash immediately. If she's gonna throw out a drill, or it's not a drill, but like a dive kick, you can punish it that way, right? And again, see, he's being really desperate in this situation. So we land this, block, whiff, scythe, blocked, but then punish. You cannot get desperate in matches like this. You have to wait for the moment for them to mess up and make a mistake. Especially against characters like Cammy with high mobility and high... I guess you could say high special move spam. Like, they'll do cannon drill, they'll do cannon spike, they'll do the dive kick, right? And if you can mess up the way they use those certain moves, then you're gonna have an edge on them, right? So if you make Cammies make mistakes with their spacing, they won't be confident enough to do them often, right? Because then Cammies will be conditioned, they'll be like, oh crap, I can't get my dive kicks to hit the way I want. I probably should do less of them because he keeps checking me or punishing me for it, right? And if you once you eliminate the dive kick game from Cammy because of how you're annoying her or controlling her space, then she begins to rely more on the ground game, right? And using drills to go through fireballs, going through, you know, counter poking normals and buffering, right? And when you can limit a Cammy's dive kick game, it gets really difficult for her to get started, right? Because you're ready. But this desperation is gonna put you in a coffin, so to speak. And then back rolling, I think, was a bad idea too, because now you're in the corner perfectly, right? If you just quick rose, you'd be just out of the corner. And that view reversal's caught. Yeah. You did that last time too. You blocked a jab and immediately view reversaled, so that was a little predictable. So the down short, I guess, to check the shimmy, but it beat the throw, which is fine. The moonsault is so risky. So risky. It's slow, and Cammy can deal with it really fast. I think, at the very least, because she's looking for a jump. At this spacing right here, she's looking for a jump, right? She's looking for a jump or a moonsault, whatever you did. So dash forward is probably your fastest bet into back throw to corner her. Because you see, she anti-airs, get the conversion, gonna get the knockdown. Nice trade, okay. Yeah, I like how you're fighting out, but my god, be careful. Low forward, the next low forward she does is death for you. So be super careful. That's why I said whip a light kick instead, you know? Don't whip mediums in front of Cammy. Yeah, you're kind of fishing and trying to mess her up. But yeah, I don't like that V-trigger use. Because if you saved it for the confirm and to hit, it would have been better, you know? Yeah, but it's just a spacing thing, right? You cannot whiff in front like that against Cammy, because Cammy will whiff punish very quickly. Against slower characters, sure, I can understand, but you have to be very non-predictable, right? Or unpredictable, I guess is the right word. Yeah, and I think just hit confirm it. Don't you can buffer it like there, but if it gets blocked, just hit confirm, because you're not getting much off of this, and now you lose another way to kill her, right? You got one overhead, but she's running out of bar too. And oh, that was so risky. I can't believe you threw a boom. Especially because she has full C8 and still has V-trigger, so she could drill through that sonic boom or just super it on reaction. Especially offline, it's much easier to do, so be so careful. Nice. Okay, that was good. Okay, keep yourself safe. Nice, meaty. There you go. That was really good. I like that.
Nash wins.
One way to kind of strengthen your game against Cammy is like turning off and on offense really randomly. If you can make them believe that you're going to commit to a certain style and then immediately turn a light switch on and then play the opposite way, it'll throw off some Cammies and how they like to play. Which I think is the key to ultimately beating her in like a 2 out of 3 set. Okay, so we'll watch one more. He won that one, so I want to see one where he lost. I'll look for one where he lost, and then I think that will do it, because I think that's plenty to go off of, I believe. I don't think he needs... I don't need to give him too much. Okay, here we go. There's one he lost. He didn't EX-Sight the anti-air once, which I think is a problem, because that is a good anti-air. You might not get all the hits, but at least you can hit that, and then throw a boom to, like, have her deal with it, right? He definitely did not. I don't think he even went for it, to be honest. Because it's a good anti-air. It's a good anti-air. Same with the roundhouse. At the spacing where it's like the maximum spacing for her to dive kick, roundhouse is pretty good. And yeah, if you guys want matches to analyze, let me know. Just save your replay ID or YouTube link in the comment or afterwards. But yeah, just tell me now if you want it, so I'll keep you in mind. Okay, so how did this end? So he just jumped. Stagger for a second, just jump in, looking for fierce. See, I don't know why. Okay, so heavies are so risky against Cammy, right? Because they'll be whiff punished, or she'll get a dash up throw if it whiffs, or she'll jump, which she does in this instance. Okay? I'm not saying never, but you gotta have a damn good reason, and especially don't do it in jump in range or dive kick range. You know? Because the thing is, you don't have time to anti-air, right? You just don't have time. Even if you did it before, you just would not be able to do it. Okay. Drill and a back roll here. Okay. Nice little forward. Okay. Confirm. Nice. Very good. Counter hit. Oh, you could have stunned. You built bar. So basically, anytime you land a heavy kick scythe, I would look at the meter right away. So when you go for the next sequence like this, you would have stunned. Even like scythe probably would have stunned, right? Because boom doesn't do too much. Yeah. I guess you did the safe one and didn't bother hit confirming, which is fine, but... Or you just didn't recognize you had bar and you went for the safer option. What did you do go for after? Boom, and then what? Soul bot. Oh, just to check the backdash because you're on the verge of stun. But see, you backed off here, which is... I don't know. If Cammy's on the verge of stun, I think you take it. Because even if you trade off, like, slugging in the matchup, you'll be able to blow her up quite crazily. Yeah, I just did one match. Don't worry. It's the first one you sent me where you won. I was going to do all of them, but I think I gave you a good amount. And I think I understand what you're doing and what some problems you have. You're doing some stuff really well, though, which is nice. I'm very proud. Oh, that jump in. Yeah, because here you let her live, and you didn't stun when you could have. And now you have to... I'm surprised you didn't throw a boom here, because you could have... Because the thing is, when people are on the verge of stun, they don't really want to overcommit to any option that could get them stunned, right? Like jumping, dive kicking, whatever. So, at the very least, if you threaten with a boom here instead of backdashing, like, she wants to get the stun down, right? She doesn't want to be stunned, because she's pretty much close to death after that. So even if you miss this, right, and she just gets away, throw a boom. Threaten her, right? Keep the stun. See that trade? That's fine. I think it was just too far. It was too much time because you dashed and you jumped. It wasn't like just a jump, right? But that trade is unfortunate for her. Okay, good tech. And see again, if you gotta stay further back. I think just knowing the dive kick spacing is gonna help a lot because you thought you were out of range, but EX dive kick is pretty far. I think double backdash would have worked for you. So here, like backdash, and then you could have probably punished with scythe. Or medium punch into scythe, whatever. Good blocks though, nice. Okay, yeah, and again, so when she has trigger, I said this before, but when she has trigger, you have to look for the normals she'll cancel from, which is, for Cammy, 80% of the time, it's like crouch fierce, all the time. Crouch fierce. So knowing that, don't get into the spacing where she's going to be able to land it and activate. Even if you block, it's sort of a mix-up, right? Because she can just throw you, and boom, right? Or she can just, like, immediately jump dive kick, and then that's plus, she gets a free mix-up, right? Nice neutral jump. I like the idea. It didn't work, unfortunately, but I think that's just because V-trigger dive kick cancels or recovers insanely quick. But you did overhead, okay. Safe. Yeah, that's a lot of mediums. I'll be super... If you're whiffing the normals, don't spend so many. Like, get some space, too, right? If you're not hitting her, get out of there. You know? Or go... Because Nash is too slow to walk in and throw. So, and dashing is a little too risky. So, like, I'd say throw one, wait a second, see if she throws a button, and then press it again. But you were spamming. Which I know you're buffering all those normals, right? I'm pretty sure you're buffering all these. But just wait. If you just wait, more people will throw out normals to check because they think you're gonna walk forward or do something, right? But she just jumps. And the thing is, if you're waiting too, if she does decide to jump, instead of doing this, if you just walk back a step and wait, you could either whiff punish or anti-air this jump, but you don't. So, I think you kill her after the sequence. Yeah. Soul back kick. Okay, you can gold dash. Yeah, I think she's trying... Okay, so now she wants fierce. She's buffering fierce now, right? So you have to look for that. You gotta pay attention to what they're buffering, because that will determine what you can hit in neutral and not be checked for, right? If they're throwing out fierces, that means you can look for whiff punishes, because they're trying to buffer now, right? If they're not trying to buffer, then they're throwing out mediums and trying to hit confirm. Or sometimes they can hit buffer too, depending on the character. Well, Cammy's case, of course. And if they're throwing out lights, it's because they want to check you or just see or try to get you to do something, right? And do something safe to bait heavier normals from you so that they could punish you. Do you see what I mean? I think Toga buffers, but not in every situation he should be, right? Yeah, like that dash was super risky. Yeah, I think that was just a scramble situation. But that didn't kill. Oh my... Did you not? Oh, he couldn't do it twice. I understand. Yeah, he had to take that. That was a good side switch. But, I don't know why, for the love of God, you didn't do EX Scythe. That would have killed. You have to optimize. It's basically any chance you get to hit Cammy hard, especially for missing a dive kick or a jump. Like, you have to hit her as hard as you can. Spend the meter you need to. Doesn't matter. Even if you C8, that would have been fine too. But at least at EX Scythe. That was fortunate. That was very fortunate. But she's still 1 bar. So if you threw a non-EX boom, she could have drilled through. It's just kind of like minimizing the amount of mistakes you're allowed to make. Because Cammy can make more mistakes than most other characters and still win, right? Characters like Nash, Vega, characters with really little defensive options cannot make a lot of mistakes on defense, right? So that's why when they get a moment to do some damage, they need to maximize the amount they do. And I'm sure Mortzy can agree too with Fang. Fang's probably the same way. Although Fang can wear you down with the poison mechanic and can kind of play a bit more turtley. So you have to, the opponent has to work to get in, and they will take a lot of damage trying to get in on Fang. But Nash and Vega are kind of similar. Fang, I'd say, has some traits of that, but not as much. Yeah, so again, these sights are killing you, dude. These sights are just not working out. And you did it, like, immediately at the beginning, which you could have done, you know what's better? Light kick scythe. Just make it whiff in front of their face, see what they do, right? Because at this point, playing 2 matches now, she's punished every scythe except for 1. So maybe not a good idea. Oh, and I think Moonsault, to be honest, I think Moonsault is a bad idea in this matchup in general. Except for like a meaty situation if they don't have bar. Then I'd say I would give it a thumbs up, but in neutral or raw, please, just save it. Because this character is too good, is really good at dealing with it. And even if they're not ready, like, it's a bad... what's it called? It's a bad habit to build into your brain, but this is a good idea in this matchup, right? Because dive kick will beat it, anti-air, all that sort of stuff. Yo, V12, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in so long. How's the Vega coming? I actually was gonna ask if you're going to Evo, but I'm not too sure. I'd love to see you there. Play some actual offline sets with your Vega. I guess the knockdown. And I think quick rising is a good idea. I don't know if you tried or if you just didn't recognize. I guess that's a weird way to get hit, so. Okay. I like that you're mixing up your wake up options though, which is good. Like delay rising can mess up Cammy, and I have gotten a lot of wake up buttons on Cammy when I delay rise. Yeah, I'm gonna be at Evo. I'm super pumped. I'm gonna be there Thursday afternoon, probably 12 or something. I'm feeling pretty good. I've like simplified my game plan in the last week or so, so I'm pretty excited. You hate Ibuki? Tell you what, after this, I'll go into training mode and show you some Ibuki stuff that I've discovered. Should help a bunch of people. Okay, and you tried. This is a good choice. Yeah, but honestly, in the corner, you do have to tech the throw, so I don't... You haven't teched before, but the thing is, like, I guess he hasn't had a shimmy work yet. So you thought, okay, maybe now I can tech the throw, so it's okay. Oh, yeah. And again, the spacing is off, right? You need to practice the spacing. Okay, back to her. See, because you blocked got hit by this, air reset, and you just didn't, I think, either dash under or just get away from her. Or even, you had bar to EX Scythe, right? Yeah, it's true. Ibuki has some stuff you can deal with, though. I think her corner stuff is dangerous with V-Trigger, too. You have to kind of see. Some of the stuff is slightly reactable, most of the time they will cross you up. Or, well, the thing is, it depends, right? Well, in my experience that I've seen, most Ibuki players, they'll try to stay on the same side if you're not close to stun. If you're close to stun, they'll go to the corner. Okay? Because then they can end in a back throw and stun you, and then you're in the corner and they get corner damage set up, right? So you can use that knowledge to kind of guess what side before, or sort of like recognize what side. But yeah, some of them are, like Ibuki's corner setups with V-Trigger 2, some of them are literally a 50-50 that you cannot react to, and you have to use the knowledge of the player as you're playing them and see, oh, are they the kind of person that will cross me up? Are they the kind of person to, you know, stay in front, right? But yeah, like I said, you can use like meter situations. You can use like, oh, can they kill me if they land this really ambiguous setup? Can they stun me with this? Like those will help you determine. Because the thing is, if you're close to stun, the opponent will sacrifice screen space and position to stun you. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like a free combo or free other setup into it if they do, right? So that's the situation when most people will cross you up or corner themselves to get pressure or whatnot, you know? And of course, anytime. I'm always here, happy to help. Okay, let's see this situation. So you got stunned. Back throw here. Yeah, I think you should have waited. Because Cammy's going to chase you no matter what. Cammy is not going to let you not get stunned, right? So I think the best option you could have done is just wake up, block, and kind of wait to see what she does. And then a jab check. Maybe not even jab check. But if you block low forward is minus. Okay? Low forward is minus 4-3, I believe. So you can check with your own medium kick. Because she cannot do anything after. And a Cammy will never buffer a medium kick at that close range. Never do it. Okay, get the knockdown. Nice avoidance. Okay, that was a good situation. It actually worked. That's surprising. Hopefully it continues to work for you. I know sometimes it doesn't. Okay, nice tech. I would have gone for the gray damage, because the throw is not a big deal. Because gray life is more important, I think, in this situation. And I think, I'll tell you this though, the default answer that people think when people get block EX boom now in the corner is they think the throw is the first option, right? Maybe it's because they played you, I don't know. But I would say the meaty is the dangerous one. So doing that, conditioning them to block and then throwing, right? Because you will get more damage. Plus, you need to make a comeback, right? You have the bar to do it, you're building it. I can't believe she didn't check you on that. Nice overhead. Good throw. Okay, momentum in your favor. Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you can do from that. Probably not. You're in corner now, but be so careful. Yeah, again, you're getting too desperate. When you're trying to win, I think you don't take your time and look for moments. I know you're trying to fluster them. The thing is, you're barely getting much. Right? Everything you're doing here is one button into death. And yeah, I understand because you have a round, so losing one round is fine. But it's just something to be aware of, right? Like you do that, but you don't anti-air. You know what I mean? Just little things to clean up. Because that was a punish. That was a free drill. If she blocked that, the drill, you're dead. Right? Or even low forward drill, right? But no anti-air, and that's the big issue, right? Because now you can throw. And I'm slightly convinced that she's adapting at this point. Yeah, see, she's waiting a lot too, right? Because you're not... The thing is, I think up close, when you throw a button or two, she's going to just sit there and block and take the throw. So at this point, when you feel like the opponent is blocking a lot on your pressure or not getting hit, I think you can start throwing them to make them try to walk away. And that's when you can get like a jab into like delay crouch medium kick or something like that. If you're getting hit. I understand, I think you were jumping back here, right? So here, low forward, no confirm. You're trying to jump back. But if you just blocked it, like here, right? You could have punished. Because that would be minus. So you could have done like jab into scythe. Or at least jab into boom. In case you weren't sure. Or jab. I think jab you can probably hit confirm. Oh, the scythe. Again, medium scythe is not... At this spacing, it's not good. And it's too slow to whiff punish. It's like Cammy's heavies, right? If you just wait, I think... Okay, I think that's a general good rule for you. So, in neutral, if you are in her jump-in range, I think a lot of the time you should throw a lot of jabs. Like crouch jabs and lights. Nothing like a medium kick, nothing like a medium punch or a fierce or a sweep. Just kind of throw them to make them jump or dive kick. Because Nash with meter, and you have 2 bars. EX Scythe is super good for challenging dive kick. All versions of it. Except for maybe V-Trigger. But she's not even close. And then you go for EX Scythe. Yeah, exactly. I think, because, well, it's not even infiltration tech. People with Ryu do that to make you jump. People with Guile do that to make you jump. And it's a tactic that Fireball characters use. And I think Toga doesn't do it enough. Because I think you would get a lot of free damage on them jumping. Right? It's an important thing to practice, because it can give you so many free hits. And it'll make your opponent feel like they can't jump at you, right? Which is what you want with Cammy, right? So let me go back here for a sec. So the Scythe, okay, that's the punish on the Scythe. Corner now. Nice V reversal. Okay, so nice dash under. Okay, no block. That's okay. I don't think you're dead. I don't think. I hope you're not dead. Here's a mix up. Yep. Dash forward. See, this is why I talk about don't. That's a bad option. And he did a read. He knew you were gonna do that, right? If you jumped, if you did a side switch to the other side, he would have got hit. Right? Wouldn't have died, but he would have got hit. So I think those little things I told you, those would help immensely in the Cammy matchup.